Are we waiting for someone now?
Just waiting for the clock to turn 3, Dana, so that we can start.
Okay.
Okay, Sandhya, we are live, Sandhya.
Okay, we are good to start, right?
Yes.
Okay, that's great. Okay. A very good afternoon to one and all. It feels really good to be back in a virtual event. And I'm very happy to welcome you all the attendees via YouTube, via Zoom to this workshop, the Are You Ready for College workshop. I take opportunity to welcome the Columbus Tamil Sangam team as well. And very happy and proud to have the student panelists here. We have 4 student panelists who are, out of Columbus across United States, who are spending time for us to make this happen. I welcome you all. And we have 2 student panelists from our very own Columbus community, the OS from our Ohio State University, who have joined us as well to give their to share their information. So I take this opportunity to welcome all the student panelists. And this program would not be possible without our independent college counselor, Mrs. Devi Satvika. I'm sure she's a known face to the Columbus community. The previous workshop which we did, the middle school program workshop, was also conducted by her. And I am really extremely happy to welcome you, ma'am. Thank you. And we have actually received a lot of interest from the community about college or school college related programs. And the Columbus Tamil Sangam team is very glad that we are able to make this happen in the last couple of months. And here you go. The Are You Ready for College workshop is here for all of you to make the best use of it. And we wish the children from our community and across United States make best use of this and shine in their career. That is what I wanted to share with the community. And as all of you are aware, our recent program was the virtual Tamilar Tirunal Kundatam. We had a virtual Patakapata and some cultural events as well. And it was a very big hit. We've been receiving great feedback from the community and a lot of encouragement and motivation. And that keeps the Columbus Tamil Sangam team going forward and trying to be more innovative in our programs. And similar to that, we are looking at doing more workshops, more competitions for our community, for both adults and kids, and other initiatives as well. Tamil Thinnai has its Saral released, the first magazine of 2021 has been released, and I'm sure all of you read and enjoyed the quarterly e-magazine. And our Columbus Tamil Sangam Youth Committee, we have a bunch of youngsters, around 15 to 20 youngsters, who are constantly working on doing community service. And they have come up with the first initiative, the food drive for Mid-Ohio Food Bank. And I invite Prashika Raghavan from the Columbus Tamil Sangam Youth Committee to share a few words about the food drive and more details about it. Prashika, over to you.
Yes, I'm Prashika, and I'm from the Tamil Sangam Youth Committee. And from what Sandhya Auntie said, yes, we are organizing a food drive to collect donations that will go to the Mid-Ohio Food Bank. And we're collecting all kinds of different foods. So we're collecting canned foods especially, which is like canned fruits, veggies, soup. But besides that, all we want is mainly non-perishable foods so that people can make use of it. And you can also bring in toiletries as well, like deodorant, toothpaste, soap, toothbrushes, since that's going to be equally valuable too. But besides that, we are also collecting monetary donations. And there's a flyer, and it should have already been sent out to you. It should be sent out to you soon. There is a QR code on the bottom left of that flyer, and you'll be able to use that to turn in your monetary donations. And if you would like to donate food items or toiletries, you can drop them off at one of our 3 drop-off locations. We have one in Lewis Center, 1345 Scarlett Avenue, and then we have a second location in Westerville, 5118 Sierra Drive, and a third location in Franklin County. And that's at Past Foundation, 1003 Kinnear Road. And make sure that you drop off your donations by April 30th, since the food drive will be going on between March 21st and April 30th. Thank you, and we hope that you will donate.
Thank you, Prushika. So as Prushika mentioned, this is one of the first initiatives by the Columbus Tamil Sangam Youth Committee. And I have to really mention this to the community. We just told them that this would be nice to do, and they have actually come up with the entire plan. They did the flyer design and how the logistics of how to get this done. So it's completely done by them, and we hope we receive a lot of help from the community and donations because this is something done by the youth of our community. So please encourage them by donating generously, either via food or via money. That'll be of great help. And we will definitely post all the updates as to when we go and deliver to the food bank and other details. Thank you so much, Prushika. And now I invite Jagadishwaran Ganesan, our executive committee member, to welcome and say a few words about Mrs. Devi Selvakumar, our independent college counselor.
Thank you, Sandhya. Devi Selvakumar, she is like familiar to our Columbus crowd. She has done already like for us, Are You Ready for High School program. It was very informative. She is an independent college counselor helping high school students with the college admin process and service projects. She lives in Atlanta, Alpharetta, Georgia with her husband and 2 sons. She is an associate director of North South Foundation, GA chapter, and coordinates service projects with Pure Hearts of Georgia. And as I know, she is involved in a lot of community services, and she is going to help us in like one more program, like learning in a dream job. And I welcome Devi Selvakumar to start the program.
Thank you, Jagadish, for the great introduction. Thank you so much. Let me go ahead and share the screen.
Devi, sorry to interrupt. I just wanted to mention to all the audience as well. Yes. People who have joined are watching the program via YouTube. You have an opportunity to join via Zoom, and you can ask questions in Zoom. So it can be more interactive and more useful if you join via Zoom. So if you have joined via YouTube, there are slots left in Zoom, and you feel free to join us via Zoom and make the best use of this workshop. Thank you, Devi. Sorry to interrupt. And
thank you so much. அனைவருக்கும் எனது இனிய மாலை வணக்கம். I'm very glad to connect with you all to the Columbus Tamil Sangam community and to all the audience. Thanks for the great opportunity. I would like to extend a big thanks to the executive committee members of Columbus Tamil Sangam, Mr. Jagadishwaran, Mr. Dhanasheelan, and Ms. Sandhya. It's a great feeling sitting in Georgia and connecting with our community across US. And so the way we are going to work today's session, the workshop consists of 3 parts. And the first part, I'm going to do a presentation about Are You Ready for College? I'm going to cover the highlights of what to expect and how to prepare for the college admission process. And the second part, we are going to be joined by 6 wonderful panelists from reputed universities. So who are going to, this is going to be in the form of question and answer, and I will be the moderator for that session. And the third part is going to be Q&A session, where we expect questions from, the parents from the audience who are connecting with us through Zoom or YouTube. Please go ahead and post all your questions. So it may be either directly directed to me or to any of the panelists. If you have any question with their respected universities, you can also do that. So we are, we all are here joining hands to bring you a wonderful program. So without further delay, let me go ahead and get started. Are you ready for college? I know this is a kind of very, like a big topic, but let's kind of, let me not overwhelm you with a lot of information. But even if it is so, try to go through that slowly and ask me any question, ask any of the panelists any question, so whatever you feel like. And so high school students, if you are, in the audience, your high school journey is going to be, these are the things you are going to hear more often. So your journey is going to be filled with major part. It's going to be filled with academics and after school clubs, extracurricular activities, and a lot of competitions. So when the schooling system and everything is totally different over here, it is not just your academics which is going to decide what kind of college you are going to go to. So this is a kind of, if you ask any one of your parents, mostly whoever has done education back in India, so this was our life journey, high school journey, right? But here it is kind of, the colleges want to see you not only as an individual person filled with talents, but they want to see you as a team player. So, they want to see you as a well-rounded person. So that's why after school clubs, extracurricular activities, everything plays a role in your life in the next 4 years or during your high school journey. And yes, definitely, without me saying, social life is a big factor in your life. And so you are going to come across this term very often, what are you passionate about? So what are you planning to do? What kind of career you are going to do? Oh my God, I'm sure you are going to be soon overwhelmed with all these questions, but don't, underestimate the value of this particular thing, the passion. Passion is the one which is going to drive your decision. Sometimes you may not be able to say, hey, this is what I'm passionate about. But I have seen a lot of high schoolers who can easily come and say, hey, this is something I don't want to do. Okay, at least you guys are very good in ruling it out. So go ahead and try to, by way of, narrowing it down, you will know, what are you passionate about? Even if it is, if you don't know, if you cannot figure it out, that is completely fine. And whatever you are going to do, please don't just do it just for records. It is not only the profile you are just, trying to build, but it is for yourself. You are going to, in the whole process, just believe me, I have 2 kids. One is already working, and another one who's a senior in high school, and he's getting ready to, jump into college. And so it is about your individual journey, how much you pay importance to. That's what it matters. And also you should develop as a person. Not for anybody else, not for as a child of your parents, not as a grandchild of your grandparents. You are just trying to prove yourself. So you should try to identify who you are, what is your strength, and what is your weakness. But then how can I come across my weakness? So those are the things you should, focus on too. And for this, I should keep myself very, very open. Then only I will need, accept all the comments. And so even if you don't agree with them, just put it on the back of your mind, and you will soon process wherever it is needed. And this is something you guys are very good in, work smart, not so hard, because, that was a theory before, try to work hard all the time. But you guys know how to do it, very smart. So make use of that. So what matters for college admission? So always, when you enter into the high school, immediately they start, talking to anybody, the parent circle, parents, friends, the family friends, everybody will start asking, so what are you planning in your mind? What kind of college you are planning to go? So these are the things, once you are thorough with what is a college admission process looks like, and what kind of factors you need to consider, then you will be worry-free. Believe me on this. GPA, no matter wherever, in the part of the world that you go, your academics is number one. And your GPA is a number one factor that all the colleges, regardless of whether they are top tier universities or they are, state schools, your safety colleges, your GPA is a number one, and your class rank, if it is applicable. Some of the schools, they don't give any class ranks or anything. So in that case, you don't have to worry about that. And your transcript is the, that's going to be a document that is going to give the college admission committee the complete listing of all your courses that you have taken during the high school years. And so what are the grades? So always make sure that it is on the, it is having the upward trend, right? So it is having the, so you may be having little bumps during your transition to the 9th grade, but when you move along, you should be able to, show upward trend. And your SAT and ACT scores, even though, a lot of the colleges are coming as test optional, but still it is considered as one of the very big criteria as part of your academic accomplishments. Your merits, what kind of awards have you earned so far? Right? Have you participated in competition? If that is so, is it in the county level or in the state level or in the national or in the international level? So these kind of things they would like to see. And leadership questions. If you are part of any extracurricular activity or after school club, what kind of leadership positions you hold? That's very, very important. And the internships, research, jobs. So later on, you will hear a lot about this from our panelists. They will come and share their internship and their research experience. And, like any type of extracurricular activities that you are, that you committed yourself for. And the volunteer service. So make use of, I'm not, don't think that I am, advertising for Columbus Tamil Changam. So whatever opportunities are coming on your way, go ahead and grab that and be a part of that community and non-profit organization. And the GPA, like I said, that is the #1 factor. And so it is a cumulative grade point average. Starting from 9th grade to the 12th grade. So your GPA is going to be calculated cumulatively. And at the end, either it can be a numeric GPA or it can be in the scale of 4.0. So again, it depends on the school that you're attending. So it doesn't matter. When colleges look into, you may be very surprised. Sometimes they have their own GPA calculator and they will come and do from your transcript, their own GPA calculation. So, but whatever your school is having on your transcript, that is well and good. Just go ahead and pay attention to that. And like I said, always try to maintain upward grade trend, right? So maybe you may be starting with a little bumpy, going little B's and C's in the first year. Try to show that you are putting a lot of effort. And as a sophomore, as a junior, try to show, a little bit of growth in your GPA. Transcript. So what is a transcript actually telling the college admission committee is your course selection. What kind of courses have you selected? This is like, back in college, this is what we used to do. The kind of courses that we select that will be shown up in the transcript. And here, even as a high school students, you have the flexibility to, to choose the courses that you are interested in. Okay, and also the colleges would like to see the course rigor. What does it mean by the courses offered versus the courses taken? Whatever courses offered or offered in your school versus the classes that you have taken. So it doesn't matter, even if your school is offering 5 AP classes, the colleges want to see how many courses have you taken. And is it going, side by side along with your interests that you are showing, right? And so always there are 4 different types of courses: on-level courses, honors level courses, and AP level courses, and IB level courses. So this AP and IB are so this is on the increasing rigor trend. Okay, so the on level is on level biology or whatever it is. It has a regular curriculum. Honors is 1 level above. The workload is going to be, the assignments the teachers are going to give you is a little more. And when you come to the AP classes and IB courses, these are college level courses. So some of the schools even offer AP classes. As a freshman, you would be able to take it. Okay, and this sometimes the kids may be taking varying from 5 AP courses to maybe 13, maybe 18. Okay, but don't pay attention to, what if my school is offering only very less AP courses? Don't worry about that. Whatever is on your way. For example, if you are very interested in biology, go ahead for honors level biology, or in the next year go ahead for AP biology. Okay, so that is the way you are showing that you are continuously you are putting your efforts, right? And this IB level courses, it starts with your junior year, and you have to take a certain amount of courses to come out from the high school with the IB diploma. So at the end of your high school, at the end of the particular year, you are taking this AP and IB level course. You should be giving exams like AP exams and IB exams, and those scores you can use it towards your college admission process, and you may be getting waived depending on what kind of scores you get, and the challenging workload without compromising your grades. So this one, one hand, a student has taken all the on-level courses, and he or she has a GPA of, for example, maybe 104 point something. Okay, and whereas on the other end, other student has taken AP courses and IB level classes, all the college level courses, and he has struggled a little bit, and he is having a GPA of 95 or so. Okay, so the student who has taken the AP course, they are given high value compared to the one who has taken on-level courses and still, came out with a high GPA. So it depends on, what kind of workload that you are going to take. And in most of the schools, you have the pathways, PLTW pathways, where you will be able to take the STEM courses if you are interested in that. So you should be able to take all the STEM classes. For example, I have just plugged in here. If you are interested in getting into Georgia Tech for the engineering program, so one of their criteria, one of their requirements is you should have finished AP Calculus, BC or AB as part of your high school curriculum. Okay, so that is one of the requirements. So if you are aiming for any science major, then please go for high school science courses. Okay, so this is every state, they have a different high school graduation requirement. For example, for Georgia, our high school credits that we need to earn is, the high school students need to earn is 23 credits. Whereas for Ohio, we have 20 credits. For English, so the way in which you are given the credits are, if you are taking 1 year of English, then you will be given 1 credit at the end of the year. If you are coming out with a passing score, then you will be given 1 credit. So like that, in the period of 4 years, you should have finished 4 credits of English, 4 credits of math. In that, 1 should be algebra or equivalent. And for science, for 3 credits, 1 should be biology, and 1 should be physical sciences, and 1 can be anything. Okay, so other sciences like environmental science or chemistry or physics. Social studies, 1 should be US history, and 1 should be government and economics, and 0.5 is given for world history, and the 0.5 can be anything. And fitness education, that is like a semester long each, fitness and health, and the other electives. So here you need to take 5 of them. So here is where, if you are interested in STEM, then go ahead and take the STEM classes, and that can be counted as your electives. Okay, so you should be taking 5 electives as part of your high school graduation requirement. So this one, you don't have to worry about this, because your high school counselor will be keeping track of your graduation requirement, and they will be recommending the courses accordingly to you. And for you, like Ohio graduates, you should be able to show your financial literacy and complete 2 semesters of finance. This is a beautiful thing, because to get into any California college, you need to have at least 1 year of fine arts. So this is something for Georgia, it is not a mandatory, where our kids need to go and compulsorily take 1 year of fine arts. Whereas for you guys, it's a kind of requirement, graduation requirement. So that is a wonderful thing. And moving on to our next one. So the dual enrollment and virtual school. So what I'm trying to, show it to you here are, some of the terms that you are going to come across. If you are a freshman, if you are, if your child is going to be a freshman next year, or, they are a freshman and they are planning to get into dual enrollment, or, like virtual school, you are going to come across these terms, like a lot. Nowadays, I'm seeing it is a kind of trend that's going on, that a lot of kids are getting into dual enrollment. That means you are taking the courses in the community colleges. Okay. In Ohio also, like there is a possibility that you can take classes with, like your community colleges. When you should take this dual enrollment classes is when you are done with your high school courses. For example, AP Biology is the maximum college level course that you can take, high school course that you can take. After that, still you are interested in biology. Okay, you can go ahead and take a Biology 101 course with a college, community college. That way you are finishing off your college credits also. Okay, so it depends on individual progress, how you are progressing. Okay, but today, what is a trend that's going on is, what kids are doing is the same courses may be offered in your high school, but the kids want to take it in community college. Why? Because a community college is giving good GPA. But when you come to the, a college admission committee, when they are looking into your transcript, and when the same course was offered in your high school, but you have taken in community college, that is not giving you any advantage. It's a myth that all the students believe that, hey, you know what, it's a cool thing. Let me go ahead and take some community college credits. But not all the college accept your dual enrollment credits. That is something you need to keep, you need to be very, very much aware. And always, you should be very careful that the dual enrollment classes interfere with your high school graduation, high school schedule. So you need to be very alert. If it is happening in your senior year, that is completely okay. But other time, you need to be very attentive to all this kind of information. And state virtual school. Again, if you're running out of classes in your high school, you can enroll some classes in your, state run virtual school, or in the county, they may be having some virtual schools also. And again, like a summer, in the summer, a lot of students, this is the kind of, again, they want to just push all the academic classes and want to finish all of them as soon as possible. If you ask me, and I've seen a lot of students, struggling big time with the summer classes, because the summer courses only run for very short time, maybe for 5 weeks or 6 weeks. And in that, you are not going to cover the entire year's curriculum in just 6 weeks. So it is not looking good on your, profile also in your transcript. When you go to the college, when you apply to the college, and my advice, my 2 cents are, please don't take any science classes or any math classes during your summer. If you are, planning to do any, credit for any foreign language or anything, just or to explore something, just go ahead for that. Otherwise, please don't, take, a high level classes during your summertime. Okay, so the honors versus AP courses. So previously, so I have mentioned about the GPA. So there is something called weighted GPA and unweighted GPA. So what is a weighted GPA? If, for example, if your school follows the 4.0 scale, okay, so in that case, you all are very familiar about that, how the grading, policy works. Getting 90 and above, then you will be getting an A in that particular subject. If you are taking an honors biology, then you will be given, if you are getting an A, then you will be getting 4.5 for that particular class. Okay. And then, for example, if you are taking an AP biology, then you will be getting 5 for that particular class. So that is why we are seeing a lot of students, coming up with the grade point, GPA of, out of 4, they will be graduating with 4.8 or 4.9. This is like, oh my God, then what is the, grading scale? It is 4.0. The only thing is they have taken all the advanced level classes and they are getting, a lot of credits, and they are ending up with high GPA. So that is the difference. Okay. And so AP courses, definitely it is college level course. The workload will be more and the course rigor is more. And, you should be ready for that. When you are taking AP level classes, your mind should be ready for that. And again, coming from Asian community, we all have that peer pressure. Hey, my friend's son, guess what? My friend's daughter or son, they have taken 13 AP classes, and they got into, like Harvard, Stanford. Okay. Please, parents, we need to constantly educate ourselves also. That is completely a myth. I know a lot of students who got into Harvard with just 5 AP classes. Why? How? Because those were the number of courses that were offered in their, a school, and they have taken complete advantage of that. And they are entering top tier universities with those 5 AP classes. Okay, so there is no, it might have worked with somebody else, but your son or daughter may be on a complete, a platform, and they are going with complete interest. So try to support them. Let's not, go ahead with, this ongoing myth. Okay. And again, AP exam, like I told you, you need to take the exam at the end of the course, at the end of the year, and you will be given a, a grade scale of 1 to 5. If you are getting 4 and above, 4 and 5, that is good. Even 3 is okay for some colleges. But less than that, it is not looking good, definitely on your resume. Like I said, the colleges will give you credit, because when you go to the college, there are some introductory classes that you need to take: introductory math, introductory science. If you are good in your AP, as well as your grades are looking good, they will look into both of them, and you will be given credit for that. Okay. ACT is out of 36, and SAT 1, it's 1600. And some of the colleges, they look into SAT 2 subject scores also. For example, the top tier schools, they want 1 math and 1 science. Sometimes they want 1 math and 1, humanity courses. So it depends. And some of the colleges, they look into super scores. So, you might have taken it 4 or 5 times. They will take 1 high score from reading, 1 high score from math, and they will super score. And, they will decide, that will be considered as a final score. And again, lot of schools are coming out as just optional, but still it is considered as one of, the criteria in deciding for, college admission. So when I mentioned merits and awards, when you are a part of the club and going for competition, they will see whether it is a school level or it is a county level. So these are the levels, right? Like state. And then when you are winning the state, or you're going to the national, or are you going to the international? And so what are the accomplishments have you done so far? Are you a black belt degree holder? If it is so, is it a first degree or second degree? Membership, National Honor Society, National Science Honor Society, and Math Honor Society. So whatever is available in your school, don't worry, all the colleges will have the complete profile of your school, and they know what is being offered in your school. So whatever you can take advantage of, go ahead and take advantage of that, from your school. And certification, some of the students who are very good in, computer science, they go for computer science certification, like Microsoft certification in PowerPoint, Excel, and also nowadays Python. More than adults, kids are getting very hands-on with the programming. So why the colleges want to see that? Because they want to know how much you are pushing yourself to. If you are, winning at the school level, are you committing to the state level? Are you committing to the national level? Then that means what? You are working for that. It is not, again, it is not just for your profile as a, as a listing and as a big accomplishment. It is saying that you put that much effort, that much work towards that particular accomplishment. Okay. Extracurricular activities, there are a variety of activities available: Boy Scouts, Girl Scouts. Again, our panelists will be coming and sharing some of the after school activities that they have participated. If you are a sports person, go ahead for it. Music, dance, arts, whatever you are deciding to, go ahead and make a 4-year commitment. That's very, very important. Don't touch hands-on in one thing and move on to the next thing. It is okay to explore in the first year, but try to make a good decision during your sophomore year. And leadership positions, again, that is very, very important. Internships, summer opportunities, internships. I know, during this COVID time, it's very hard to find the internships, but there are a lot of opportunities coming, as a, a virtual internship, or as a virtual research assistant. you need to go ahead and knock on the door, and try to find out, so what is possible, right? And the jobs, is there any job available? Again, you will be learning from our panelists what kind of things they have done. Volunteer service. Now, Prashika has talked about a possible volunteer opportunity that shows what is your commitment and passion for helping your community, and how much you are ready to put your effort, right? And so instead of I would like to see that you have committed for one particular organization or two organizations for 4 years, and you have done a lot of work towards them, instead of you coming and saying, hey, I have contributed 20 hours for NSF and 10 hours for Meals for Hungry, and not spreading it out. Try to stick with a couple of organizations and try to do more work. The application process. Okay, so what are the factors to be considered during the application process? You will be paying a lot of attention to this when you come to your senior year. Again, you will be hearing this more often from your counselors and from the college admission officers whenever they come and talk to you. The application process is holistic review. So 95% of the colleges are sticking to this policy. That means you are not only given admission based on your just one factor. Because you are a good soccer player, you are given admission for that. No, it is not the case. Because you are a good a violin player and you are part of a symphony orchestra, you are not given the admission. So holistic review means all the accomplishments, all your hard work, your volunteer, whatever I have mentioned in the previous slides, they are taken into account. So your transcript, number one, your GPA and your SAT and ACT score. And then, so here, when you build up that, now pay attention whether you are making a college list, okay? So there are some reach schools, target schools, and safety schools. So that means, your dream schools, wherever you wish, you can get into those colleges, right? And target schools, where you can little bit more work, you can get into those target schools. And safety schools, where you can definitely safely, for sure, with your GPA, you can definitely get in. Okay, so try to make a college list and try to visit those colleges. And nowadays, a lot of virtual college visits are available. Just go ahead and visit them and make connection with, college-going kids from your own community, like Sumaira and Saindavi. Try to connect with, all these panelists and try to see, what are all the things that they have taken into account. And so applications, when you come to the applications, there are Common App, Coalition, and college-specific applications are available. So once you come to, your senior year or junior year, you are going to come across this very often. And your essays, it is going to, play a very major role in your application process. So try to work out some sample topics at the end of your junior year. And recommendation letter from your teachers. This is again a kind of little undervalued, but it is highly big factor in your college admission process. This will come from your teachers. Okay, so try to make a connection with your teachers. And top tier schools, mostly they do an interview with their alumni, but it is college specific. Sometimes they go for that and sometimes they don't. And so like I said, the recommendations, it will be coming from your teachers and counselors. And essays, there are Common App specific essays and Coalition and college specific essays. So you need to download the prompts and you need to start writing the essays on that. And interviews, mostly this is applicable towards Ivy League colleges. Again, it is college specific. Okay. Financial aid and scholarship, FAFSA, no matter. Again, it's a kind of a myth that our community always think, with my salary, definitely, my kids are not going to be eligible for the financial aid. Please, I'm sorry, don't underestimate this thing. Go ahead, regardless of whether you are, highly on the high earning category. Just go ahead and fill the FAFSA application. It's not going to hurt you. It is just a very half an hour process maybe, and then you will be done. And you may never know, even if you are getting a couple of bucks from the college, you are not going to deny that. You will love that. And some of the private colleges, they will ask for CSS profile. That is something you need to fill up. This is again a financial aid type, application thing. You need to fill it up through College Board. And there are a lot of local state scholarships available. Check with your community organizations whether they are offering any scholarships, right? And in the school community, the PTA may be offering some, So check on that. And in the colleges, merit and alumni-based and need-based scholarships are available. Some of the colleges are need blind, so they will completely cover. If you are eligible, they will completely cover the 100% tuition fee and grants and loans. If you still want to apply for loans, it's still available. And parents, if you are on the beginning of the process, go ahead and invest some time on the savings plan. 529 mutual funds, whatever is applicable, IRA, go ahead and explore that. And that is a good investment that you are going to make. Okay. And I know I have thrown a lot of high level points in here, but don't get overwhelmed. These are all the kind of terminologies you are going to come across. And if you get ready for this, you will just pass your high school journey, very, very peacefully. Again, it is your own journey. You are going to identify what kind of a person you are and what is your strength, what kind of college you want to apply to. So it is highly, highly individualized and customized. Everybody's journey completely differs. I have 2 kids, and I thought whatever I have done for my oldest son, I'm telling you this, as a parent. I thought it is completely applicable to my younger one, but as soon as he came to the high school, 9th grade, he said, "Mom, don't think I am Anna. I am completely different." So with our kids, we need to identify what kind of strength they have. So let us not do the comparison, and let us find out what are all our kids' strengths, and let us support that. And if you have any question, just you can go ahead and type it on the YouTube or in here, and we will get back to you during our last part. So without further delay, we can go ahead and move on to the second part of our session. And so here the panelists are going to self-introduce themselves, and we'll be joining the panel discussion soon after that. Okay, can I call the panelist? Myra?
Yeah, I think in order for me to share my screen, you need to stop sharing. That's what it's telling me.
For some reason. Okay, 1 minute. I'm sorry.
Auntie, do you want us to just popcorn like after each of us presents, or is there a specific order you'd like us to go in?
I have just put it on the WhatsApp group.
Oh, okay, perfect.
Yeah, please.
Okay, let me pull up my slide. Okay, can you all see that?
Yes.
Okay, hi, I'm Samara. I'm a sophomore at Ohio State, and I'm studying computer science and engineering. I graduated from Olentangy High School in Lewis Center, Ohio. My class rank was 1, and I was in the 99th percentile. And then I took my ACT my sophomore year, and I got a 36. And then I took 2 SAT subject tests, math and chemistry, and I got an 800. And then in terms of awards, I was a national merit finalist my senior year for my PSAT score. And then I also got the National AP Scholar and the AP Scholar with Distinction Award for my AP scores. And then throughout high school, I was in speech and debate, and I was a captain for all 4 years. And then my junior year, another student and I, we started the math club at Olentangy. And so I was president of that for 2 years. In terms of extracurriculars outside of school, I ran cross country for 4 years, and I was also in class cabinet for 3 years. And so that was some leadership experience as well. And in terms of my internships and professional experience, the summer after my sophomore year of high school, I was selected for an internship at the Ohio Supercomputer Center. And basically in my team there, we analyzed NASA's database, and we got to, explore different galaxies and things like that using the supercomputers there. So that was a really cool experience. And then I also was an intern at MatchTX, which works with drug data from the FDA. And volunteering experience, I was a peer tutor in school, and I also did some tutoring outside of school. But most of my experiences throughout high school were oriented toward my interests in computer science. So you'll see that reflected through my experience as well. But if you have any questions, please let me know. Thank you.
Thank you, Smaira.
I'll stop sharing.
All right, I'll go ahead and share in that case. All right. All right, can you guys see my screen? All right, perfect. Hello, everyone. My name is Rithik. I'm a rising senior at Georgetown University, majoring in global health. I'm a pre-med student as well. I went to George Walton Comprehensive High School in Marietta, Georgia. I graduated 6th in my class, which was, I believe, the first or the top 1%. I took both the ACT and SAT. I scored 35 and 1580 on them respectively. As far as awards go, I was a finalist for an MSQT, and I got the AP National Scholar Award through the College Board. Leadership, I had a leadership position by the end of high school in pretty much every single extracurricular activity I was involved in. I won't get into too much depth into that, but as far as notable other leadership goes, I was also the state officer for HOSA of Georgia. Other extracurriculars, aside from the previously mentioned ones there, I also did track and field in high school. During high school, I also had the unique opportunity to do research at Emory University. Our lab was a cardiology lab that focused on gene splicing, and my particular project focused on mitral valve inefficiency due to that particular disease that we were looking at. And at the conclusion of my internship experience there, I was actually published on a paper. In addition to that, I volunteered throughout high school with the Red Cross through various Red Cross events and blood drives, hosting them and also volunteering at them. And during the summers, I worked with the Student Conservation Association as a National Park Restoration crew member.
Thank you, Rithik. Can we have Satvika?
Yeah, I'm sharing mine right now. Can you guys see the slide? Okay. Hi, I'm Satvika, and I am a freshman at the University of Georgia. My major is computer science, and I'm on the pre-med track. For high school, I went to River Ridge High School, which is in Georgia, and I graduated as a salutatorian. I didn't take the ACT, but on the SAT, I got a 1570, and then awards. So there's an organization called the National Center for Women in Technology, and from there I received the National Honorable Mention twice, and then state winner 3 times. And then I was also the National Merit finalist, or one of the National Merit finalists. I was in a couple leadership positions by the time I graduated, but the most meaningful ones and the ones that I spent the most time for, I started a Girls Who Code club at my school at the end of my junior year, but mainly senior year is when I had it mainly. And so I was also the president of that. And I was the co-captain of Science Olympiad, which I was in all 4 years of high school, and Reading Bowl, which I was also in all 4 years. Extracurriculars outside of school, I spent a lot of time for music, Carnatic music, which I was really interested in. Bharatanatyam I did, but it was more of a hobby. I don't think I really even included it in any of my applications, but it was just something that I enjoyed doing. Professional experience, I've worked as a private tutor for a really long time. I still do it. And, but I think 1.5 year, I worked at an actual math tutoring center called MathClicks. And I think the summer before my junior year, I did a internship at the State Farm IT department. And for volunteering experience, there was an organization in my county called Sprouting Stems, and I was a volunteer instructor and program writer. So basically, it was a countywide initiative where we went to elementary schools and I would work with the students on creative STEM projects, like kind of giving them an introduction to possible future STEM careers. And I also did this thing called the Model Atlanta Regional Commission. It was like mainly a program about city planning and things like that, which was completely out of my interests and everything. But a friend suggested it to me, and I was like, oh, it'll be nice or new to try something new. And I really enjoyed it. It had nothing to do with anything I was interested in, but once I did it, I really learned something new and I enjoyed doing it. So we basically helped with city planning around Metro Atlanta area. And I also do tutoring as volunteering as well. So for those who are low income or cannot afford tutoring, I do it for free weekly. So that was it. Thank you.
Thank you, Satvika. Can you have Tirini?
Hello, I'm Tirini, and I went to South Forsyth High School. Oh, sorry, starting off. I'm currently at Georgia Tech, and I'm a neuroscience major. I'm a first year, and I'm on the pre-med track. I went to South Forsyth High School, and I was 5th rank. I didn't take that ACT, but my SAT was 1540. The awards that I got Georgia Certificate of Merit Scholar, and I competed in a lot of HOSA competitions. The highest award that I got was first place in clinical specialty at the state level. The leadership positions that I had that was most meaningful was HOSA chapter officer. And for extracurriculars, I was really big into dance. Bharatanatyam was my main dance form, and I did Bollywood on and off for 3 or 4 years. And I also was a painter. I was really into watercolor, and then acrylic was just something I did on the side. Professional experience that I had, I was a mathnasium tutor, and that was a paid job. And I did it throughout junior year and senior year. And I also shadowed my orthodontist because that was something that was interesting to me at the time. Currently, it's made me realize that it's not a profession that I want to go into. Volunteer experience that I had is I volunteered at Northside Hospital for 2 summers, and I also tutored through this organization called MeIEDU, which basically taught, it was a tutoring service for kids in our community, and the money that we raised would go to charities around the world. And I did that for 2.5 years.
Thank you, Tirini. And here, Tara.
So I don't know how popular my school is going to be here in Ohio, but I'm currently attending, it'll load. Yeah, okay. I'm currently attending the University of Michigan. My interests are kind of in neuroscience, well, science, and then also like business and econ. And I can talk a little bit about that too. I went to Lambert High School. I think I was like top 10%. I'm not really sure what my rank was. I got a 34 in the ACT. I competed a lot in HOSA and DECA, and HOSA is like a healthcare organization, and then DECA is more like business oriented. I was a president of Lambert HOSA, and then I had leadership positions my sophomore and my junior year as well. I had a leadership position with Compass, which is like an ambassador program at my school. And like I said, I was really involved in DECA, and I can talk a little bit about that as well. I kind of tried to use my interest in healthcare and try to address it through like the field of business and trying to find like that intersection between like social impact and business, which I thought was really interesting. I also was involved in like Carnatic music and Bharatanatyam. I didn't really talk about that too much in my application, but that's there. I interned at a pediatric therapy clinic my senior year, and then obviously later on as well. And then I also was a dance teacher. I devoted a lot of my time volunteering in my community. I wasn't really interested in like a lot of lab settings. It's kind of something that I realized with talking to my teacher. So I just focused a lot of my attention on like working in my community. So I worked at Grady Memorial Hospital, which is like a public hospital in Atlanta. I worked in the Dominican Republic, and then I was a Tamil school teacher. Then I worked at Sunrise Senior Living, and also Meals by Grace, which is a program that's like in my county that works to provide food for underprivileged communities. And that's my dog wearing a Michigan merch, but that's me.
Thank you, Tara. Can we have Saindhavi?
Okay, I think you can all see that. But anyways, my name is Saindhavi, and I'm currently a freshman at Ohio State. I'm studying neuroscience, and I'm also on the pre-med track. I also went to Olentangy High School like Samara did, and my class rank, I wasn't really sure about it, so I didn't put it in. But my ACT score was a 30. I did get a couple of awards in high school. One of them was the Brave Award. It was for our high school tennis team. I also went to HOSA Nationals during my junior year, and I was also an AP Scholar. One of my leadership positions was being tennis assistant captain for 1 year, and then some of my extracurriculars, I played tennis all 4 years, and I also have been doing Bharatanatyam since I was about 5, still continuing that in college now on a dance team at OSU, and HOSA, as I also mentioned earlier. And then my professional experience, I actually started interning at an optometric place called Horvath Vision Care. And then eventually I got offered a job as an optometric technician there. And I worked there for about over a year. And then my volunteering experience, I peer tutored at school during my study halls, and as well as at the Delaware County Library. And yeah, go Bucks.
Okay, awesome. Thank you, Saindhavi. Okay, great. It's great to hear from all your high school achievements. I know you are all in college, and it's been not been a while. It's still young in your memory, and great to see all your story, right? And so we will go ahead. I will go ahead and start, the panel discussion. And any of you, however you are comfortable, please, go ahead and give us your responses. So what factors did you consider when looking at the colleges to apply to?
Okay, I can answer this one, I guess. I think it's like important to understand what you really want from an undergraduate education. I know like it's hard to understand that now, like in high school, and maybe you don't really know like what are the opportunities that are available in college, but maybe like you're a junior right now and you're just seeing undergrad as like a means of going to medical school, then you should really look at, maybe you want, that means saving money. Maybe that means, going to a school where you can guarantee, or not guarantee, but like you would have easier classes and you're worried about your GPA, things like that. Or maybe you're looking for a means to really explore in college, and which college provides you the opportunities to explore the field you're interested in. So like for me, I was interested in sciences and business, and Michigan specifically not only provides me the opportunity to explore both, but it allows me to explore both at the same time. And that's kind of what I was looking at. So it's really important to understand what you want and what you're interested in, if that makes sense.
Wonderful. Thank you, Tara. Anybody else?
Yeah, I can go ahead and I guess go off of that, kind of along the same lines. For me, a lot of my college search was based around my interest in the programs that I was looking for. I was really fixated on either majoring in public policy or global health going into like I guess coming out of high school at the very least. And surprisingly enough, there weren't a lot of colleges offering global health degrees, more so than public health degrees. So that severely limited my scope in that respect at the very least. And then I guess I came across Georgetown, which really appealed to both ends of that as a public policy school and having a well-renowned global health program as well. Because at the end of the day, I guess it's really about understanding what values you hold and what your end goal is. For me, I want to pursue a profession in health, but I also want to get involved politically later on in life. And I thought I could get the best out of both worlds by not only the networking and the academics at Georgetown, but also the wide range of experiences I could get there. But yeah.
Okay. Wonderful. Anybody else want to join that? So, like putting your answers, like responses together. So whatever it works for you, right? I mean, depending on, I love the way Ritik has mentioned. So whatever the values you hold on to versus, like what will you get out of the college? So it is a personalized journey that you all took into consideration. That is great to hear that. And can you please share with us, how do you secure internships or volunteering opportunities during summer break? And what is the importance of it, do you think?
I can start on this. So one of the biggest tips I have is starting early, especially for summer programs. Applications typically open up anywhere from like November, December to January, February. So if there's something you have in mind that you want to apply to, keep your eye out for that. And if those applications do close, and you can't really find anything you want to do for the summer, never be afraid to like cold email anything that interests you or any companies or any labs, because a lot of times they won't really have a lot of people doing that. So one, you'll stand out, and two, you'll never know what opportunities you might have. And even if it's something that's not really in your intended, path or something you think you want to do, it's always, high school is a time to try new things out, and you never know what new interests you might, find. So that's definitely great to do if you're, stuck and you want to try something new.
Awesome, that's great.
Yeah, kind of going off of that, I actually wasn't really sure what I wanted to do after high school. I'm not completely 100% sure, but in high school, I took a lot of opportunities to kind of explore to see what I did want to do. So one thing I did was interning at an optometric office, and that really showed like a new world and like a new perspective on what I could do in the future. So basically, I just emailed a bunch of places asking if they're having internship opportunities, volunteering opportunities. Basically, just talking to people and networking too is really helpful. Parents, friends, they might have different opportunities that you may not know of. So definitely like asking around the community, just getting yourself out there would really help.
That's beautifully said. Thank you.
Yeah, I'd like to add one more thing to that. I really agree with what Samantha and Sandy said. For me, I hadn't even realized that I should probably like look for stuff to do over the summer, my freshman year. So it was almost near the end of the year. I had like a couple of my friends had things like set of what they wanted to do that summer, and I was just like watch TV. And so I think my friend told me about this Girls Code summer program. At that point, I wasn't really that interested in computer science. It was just, I'd taken a computer science class at my school, but it wasn't something that, oh, I'm really interested in this. I did know I wanted to pursue medicine though. So when she told me about this, I was like, it's not really anything I'm interested in. Like computer science is not anywhere near medicine. So I was just gonna say no, but I was like, you know what, maybe I should try it. So I ended up trying it, and that's where I really like fell in love with computer science. Like I started really enjoying computer science, and I started learning like how much it can be applied to. So I would just like to say that you might like get an opportunity that you don't think is like for you at the time, but just go ahead and try it because you never know. But now I'm majoring in computer science. So yeah.
Awesome. That's a great story. Yeah, definitely. You all are perfectly right. You know, the internships may open up, and it may highlight, you know, like what are you interested in, right? So it may later on develop into, you know, like your major. So listening to your story, now we know, you know, like how come computer science and pre-med they you know, like go together. And like Saindhavi said, you know, like you can really, you know, like be open, right? So when you are open, you can go ahead and reach out, and when you go ahead and explore different opportunities, and later on it can develop into your passion, or, you know, like you may find out that's what you like the most about it, right? And starting early, that's another thing, you know, Smira has pointed out. Start early and reach out. Those are all the great points. Thank you. And let's move on to the next question. So during your internship and volunteering experiences, what kind of soft skills did you learn or improve? For example, your leadership skills, public speaking, communication. Can you share a little bit, you know, like on that?
I can start on this as well. So I mean, something that's pretty obvious, you definitely improve your communication skills, you know, writing emails, just like learning how to communicate your thoughts effectively. And I think another big thing that I learned about myself that was useful for college and experiences after that, you learn how to talk about yourself well, and like market yourself, which is definitely a great skill to develop, especially when you're interviewing for internships or other experiences later in college. So just, you know, like writing emails and just like, I guess, marketing yourself and talking about the skills you have. That was something that I felt like was really helpful later on. And another big thing is just time management. You know, as you start getting more involved and busier later in high school, you learn how to prioritize, which I think is another skill that's really important as you transition into college.
Wonderful.
I can add more. So one of my biggest volunteering things that I did was volunteering at a hospital, and that really helped me like learn professionalism because I got to see patient care like right in front of me. So it helps you like really understand what the field that you might go into looks like, and I think that's important.
Yes, definitely, that's great.
Yeah, and I think more than what I learned, I mean, I've learned a lot through the programs that I did over the summer, but applying to those programs is where it really helped, like presenting yourself, like what Samara said, basically, like learning how to present yourself, showing like what you've done without seeming like, because sometimes I think we feel, oh, we're bragging about ourselves, but I mean, you just need to learn how to say it in a modest, humble way. So I think that's where I learned a lot about how to like present myself to others.
Awesome. Definitely. I completely agree with you. You know, like here they say in the job market, sell yourself, right? So go ahead. How do you sell yourself? And you guys are saying it so beautifully. You know, like how to market yourself and how to find out what is your strength. And like you said, how, you know, like it's not about you bragging, right? You are not bragging. So rather you are telling the other people, you know, like other person in front of you, what are you good in, right? And so that needs a lot of courage. So you need to work on your communication skills, and you need to find out what kind of a person you are. That says a lot. And the application process, I completely agree with you. You know, like you need to have a lot of patience, first of all, for that, right? So in order to, so you may be applying to 80 places or 100 places, you may be getting a response from only one person.
And Ms. Silvakumar, can I interrupt for 1 second? There's just one question that wasn't responded to yet. So someone was asking why should students take the PSAT? So any of you can try to respond to that.
I can answer that. The PSAT, it's told as, oh, it prepares you for the SAT, which is one major thing. But mainly your junior year, when you take the PSAT, that's like the year it qualifies you for the National Merit Scholarship. So in order to qualify that, your senior year, you need to do well on the PSAT your junior year. But other than that, there's not really much to the PSAT.
Yeah, great answer. So PSAT, see, the thing is, they kind of repeatedly, they want to test you on your standardized test, right? So you need to get used to that idea. I know a lot of, like the students are completely opposed to that, going for the standardized test. And then, that one thing, like you need to put a lot of effort. But I just think about that, nowadays, I think even the freshmen, they will be able to take the PSAT starting from the freshman year. So slowly, if you take that every year, you will get an idea of what to expect, right? So what to expect slowly. It is not about just the learning. It is about what are your test taking skills are. Not everybody is good in that. You guys may be knowing this very good. You may be good in, in the class test, you may be taking, 100%. You may be knowing the concept 100%. But when they, when you sit on the standardized test for 3 hours, it is testing your patience to the core. And at that point, under that pressure, are you able to perform? I know there are a lot of contradictory, views on that. But the thing is, they want to see, it's a preliminary SAT, right? Slowly they are preparing you for the SAT. And, I'm sure you all will agree, when you are in the junior year, when you prepare for the PSAT, easily you will go for your SAT, right? Because of the preparation you had for your PSAT. So again, it's kind of, you are just testing your ability to see how good you are. So it is not going to tell you at the end of the day, hey, PSAT is a major deciding factor to get into a college. It's not like that, but it is one of the factors, and it is slowly preparing you for the, to face the real world. Okay. Yes. So moving on to the next question, how important is holding the leadership positions? Now we have seen, our panelists, you guys held a lot of positions. Some of you may, our founders, and you were, leaders in a lot of clubs. Can you please share us your, experience with this? Why is it important?
I can go ahead. Unless you wanted to go ahead there, Renee.
You can go ahead.
All right. So for me, I think there's an important distinguishment that needs to be made. I think it's important to hold leadership positions, but I think it's even more so important to understand that you're holding that leadership position in order to, I guess, elicit change through holding that position at the end of the day. Because in a nominal sense, yeah, everything looks great on paper, but what are you doing with that position really holds a lot more value, and it can translate into later on, not only in your applications, but your interviews that you may potentially have with your college admissions interviewers themselves. So for me, it was about how can I guess, garner this change within whatever setting that I was looking into, whether it was on a community level through a volunteer organization, or was it on like an academic level by helping out my peers. For me, it was just a matter of understanding how I could solicit that change within that particular setting, and then trying to achieve that by attaining that leadership position. But yeah, I'd say it's important to hold those leadership positions, but I wouldn't hold them solely for the sake of the title.
I definitely agree. And going off of that, I think colleges, especially in recent years, have gotten really good at seeing through like leadership positions that are just like a title versus leadership positions that you like actually, put time and effort into. And I think going off of that, it's also important to kind of have a theme among all leadership positions. It's more so than just trying to, be the president of like 5 or 6 different clubs that are, not really related. It's a lot more important to, it looks a lot better if you're, in a leadership, if you have a leadership position in a couple clubs, but put a lot of time and effort into it and can actually talk about what things you've done in that club. So yeah, just going off that.
To add to what they said, like it's good to have like an official leadership position. But for me in my school, the way our leadership positions were decided, it was based off of like friends. So like sometimes it becomes like a popularity thing. And if that's the case, like on your applications, you can always talk about how you have displayed leadership skills in other parts of your life. Like it doesn't have to always be an official position. Like I remember I talked about how I choreographed things for dance, and that was how I showed leadership along with like other things, because I did have an official leadership position. But like there's a way to show that you have leadership skills without actually having a position.
I'll just have like one more point, sorry, Devanti, but like I think one thing that's really important to remember is that these leadership experiences allow you to create connections with like mentors. Like I think there were some crucial mentors that I've had throughout my high school career that have like influenced me on like what I'm going to do for my career. And like creating those connections were really important for me, not even just for like college recs, but also understanding like what you want to do. Sometimes like your teachers know better like on like what they think you're better at, if that makes sense. So and like I totally agree with what Tirini said. I think that like also there's certain opportunities where your mentors will give you an opportunity to show leadership, and it's important to, like Baby Auntie said, take advantage of those opportunities, even if like none of your friends are doing it and it's like kind of obscure. Make sure you take advantage of those opportunities, because you can really create unique mentors to that experience as well.
Awesome. So many important points. Definitely. Not for, like record's sake, but you should do it just because you want to learn, like out of it. And that may open up, like a lot of doors. Like, Tara has mentioned, like you may connect with your mentors, and you will make a good contact with your teachers, and, like with your peers. And not even, like you are not even mentioning that on your, like record. But, like off the chart, you are already, like making that, right? That is beautifully said,
All right, I found a couple of other questions, Ms. Selva Kumar. I'm sorry
Yes.
to interrupt, but so one of them asked, what are the disadvantages of being on an H-4 visa when applying for colleges?
Okay, I will take that question. So what are the disadvantages? So the only thing is you will be considered as an international student while you are applying to college. So in that case, so sometimes it depends on every state. One of my friends, she recently, she is also in a similar situation, and like because the international student fee is higher. Because when you go to the college, there is in-state fee and out-of-state fee, and then international student fee. So the international student fee is, like this is on the top of, like out-of-state student fee. So, but this college, they negotiated with the college, and then the college counselors, they all talked, and then they negotiated. They were ready to offer them the in-state fee because they were staying in that state for a long time. So the thing is, don't go with any pre-assumptions. Go and talk to the colleges and find out so what kind of benefits that you can get. You have been a resident in that particular state for such a long time. So, but still you are in the H1 visa for so and so reason. Then what kind of benefits, what kind of scholarships, and what kind of fee, like a structure that can be adjusted with that college. So it's better to approach the individual college separately and then check with them.
All right, and someone asked, what is the difference between AP and IB courses?
Okay. Any of the kids want to do that? Panelists, do you guys want to take that question? No problem. So AP and IB are college level courses. Okay, so like I said, there are 4 levels. One is on level, and the next level is honors, and then going to the top, it's AP and the IB level courses. But again, not all the schools will be providing AP and IB courses. Also, some of the schools may not provide honors classes also. So when you take the AP level courses, your college workload will be more and the rigor will be more. That means, there is a lot of lab that you need to do, and like the exam pattern and everything is completely different. You need to do FRQ, and the normal, the way that you learn, you are learning actually the college material. Okay, so that means what? So it is completely different from your high school course. Okay, so you need to be ready for that. So in that case, definitely go take the AP level class only when you are ready for that, and you need to see how many AP classes that you are taking in a particular year. And the IB level courses, so some of the schools may offer the AP level course in your freshman itself. So 9th grade onwards, you can start taking that class, or versus IB courses. This is a 2-year program. You will get into the IB program during your junior year, and you will select a particular specialty, like for finance or like business. So you language arts, you select a specialty, and you need to take a certain number of courses in that particular like IB level in your junior and senior year, and then you will come out with a IB diploma. In AP level courses, you won't come out with a diploma, but your transcript is going to show that you have taken AP level courses. Like when they list the course name, they will list AP biology, AP chemistry, AP physics, like that. So the colleges will know, oh, the student has taken college level classes. Okay, so again, it depends on what the courses are offered in your school and how you are taking advantage of that. And you don't have to worry if the school is providing less AP courses. That's why I gave you the example of a student who got into Harvard University with just 5 AP classes. Okay, it's not only that matters. He has done a lot of other things which just completely took him above, like the application panel. So, like that is the thing.
Auntie, can I add more to what you said?
Please.
So another difference between AP and IB is AP is more US based and IB is international baccalaureate. So when you do like science courses through IB, they do a lot of things through the metric system, or not the metric system, sorry. There's like, they have different units for measuring like concentration and things like that. So I was talking to one of my friends who did IB, and she said, because she took IB in high school, like she had to switch back to the way they did it in the US because she had to like take those classes in college. So it's that different system of learning. And also through the IB diploma program, you have to do a lot more things outside of school. I'm not really sure about the correct terminology because I didn't do this, but there are like a certain number of hours that you have to document towards things that you're passionate about, and then you have to write a really, really long essay. It's a lot of other things outside of just classes, and AP is just those classes. And another difference is more colleges give AP credit and not a lot give IB credit. So to me, it felt more worth it to do AP classes. But I know a lot of people who have done the IB program and they really like it. So it might be something you're interested in as well.
Or did you have something to add on?
You can go ahead with the next question, please.
Okay. All right. So someone said that you mentioned earlier that a hire needs college credits, like around 20 college credits, and that there's an opportunity of earning around like 7 to 8 credits per year, like including the summer courses. So they were asking that, let's say that like a person got 30 credits but like a little bit low of a GPA. So will it be like a more of an advantage if a person with around 26 credits gets a comparatively more GPA?
Yes, definitely. The one, who has, in both the cases, we are assuming that they have fulfilled the graduation requirements. Okay, so minimum they have taken the graduation requirements, and the one who has taken the 26 credits with comparatively more GPA, they are valued more than the one with 30 credits. Okay, so it doesn't matter how many credits you have at the end of your high school year. It depends on it depends on the course rigor also. That is something that that's not mentioned here. So it depends on the course rigor. So in spite of whether it is a AP level course or it is a on level course, you will be getting 1 credit at the end of that course, finishing that course, right? So I would say, since it is holistic review and everything, and you are just viewed, not only you are viewed as an individually talented person, you are viewed as a a team player. So in that case, go ahead and spread out your time and spend more time on research, internship, like all these panelists have done, right? And go ahead and spread out to your, not only just concentrate on academics, spread out to your time on other activities also.
Okay, so if no one has anything to add on to that, then we can move on to the next question. So someone was asking, what's the difference between the ACT and the SAT, and how do you figure out which one to take?
Okay.
I can answer this one just because I have some regrets about this, but so ACT is more short and it's fast paced, and SAT is correct. Anyone can correct me if I'm wrong, but it's you have a longer time, and I would say it's more comprehensive. I felt an ACT obviously has the science section. It's all about understanding which structure fits you the best. I made a mistake of I took SAT, I think my freshman year, and I got a 800 on math, but then I was okay, I'll just work on reading. But I think I was peer pressured because everyone around me was taking ACT. So then suddenly I tried to take ACT, and that wasn't a good switch for me. I personally feel because that structure didn't fit me. So I think it's really important that you understand which structure fits you well early on in high school, because I'm sure if you are preparing early on, and then you can focus on junior or sophomore, junior year on getting the score that you want. I think that if I had done that, it would have made it less stressful for me. Yeah.
Great. Anybody else want to add to that? I have seen a lot of, some of you have taken ACT and ACT.
Yeah, I can add on a little bit. I honestly, I don't have too much to add on to that, but just going off of what Dara already said, it really just depends on what you think you can excel with at the end of the day. The SAT is definitely going to be, it's going to be more centered around critical thinking skills rather than just regurgitating whatever knowledge that you might have learned from your previous coursework, whereas the ACT is more so that application of whatever you learned from school directly onto that test paper, essentially at the end of the day. So just depends on what structure you like better. Trying both is also a great thing. You don't necessarily have to report both scores to all your colleges that you're applying to. So if that's something you'd like to pursue, that's also something you can do.
Yeah, great. So, the one thing what the students can do is, there are a lot of tutoring centers which offers a free diagnostic test. So if you don't know what you are good in, go ahead and take a diagnostic test, give one in SAT and one ACT, try to see, your scores and see what are you good in, if you, so that can give you a pointer. So where to start, right? And then you can find out what you are good in, a comprehensive thinking skills, or, whether you are, you want to focus more time on science. Depending on that, you can make a decision.
All right, okay. So the next question was, when would be the right time or the right grade to start the internships?
I can start on this. So I don't really think there's one right time where you need to start. I think it's really just what you want to do and how you want to spend your time. But I started my internships the summer after my sophomore year. It wasn't technically an internship, it was more of just a summer program. But I think more so than just starting internships, I think just getting experience however you can is something to keep in mind. And internships, if you can get them, are great, but I know it's difficult with COVID and everything. So just, try to put yourself out there and, do something meaningful, but it doesn't necessarily have to be an internship.
That's great. So like Smeera said, there is no one specific time that is going to suit everybody. If it is possible, this is the time to reach out to your families and friends, like whoever, like Tamil Changam, like your community, go and meet with people and try to, like secure an internship. Even if you are getting, like at the end of your freshman year, I know some of the kids, what they have done is, like when they went for that internship, they figured out that they don't want to go for that particular type of profession, right? So when they went to, in contrast to what Satvika has decided that she is interested in computer science, some of the kids who went for computer science internship, they have decided, hey, this is something I cannot do for the rest of my life. Like sitting in a cube, like sitting from 9 to 4, like this is something I cannot do. So you kids are very smart in figuring that out. So whenever possible, try to use a summer for these extracurricular activities, internship, research, or whatever you can. Try to get hold of that and figure it out. You may never know. That will, tell you, that can give you some pointers about what you are interested in and what can your major be and what kind of college you are interested in. You will be able to figure it out easily.
All right, so the next question is that someone said that they took a few AP courses over their freshman year, but they got a B and a C in the first semester. So they're wondering if they should reduce the number of AP courses that they're taking in the second semester and whether this will have any negative impact.
Okay, I will go ahead and answer because, I used to work in a school setting. No, don't be afraid of that. Your B and C, like in a AP level course, it's completely okay. Now you know what to expect, what to, how to work. So you need to all you have to do is put a little bit more effort. Okay. And if you are going to drop off your AP during your second semester, then you are not going to get any credit for that AP class. Okay. And I think mostly the schools won't let you to do that. And so better to continue that AP class, throughout the year. And so try to finish up that course. And with your, so this is what, like in life, not everybody is perfect. Okay. So we all have our bumps and boulders that we hit and we learn. And it is all about learning, right? So you have learned that it needs a little more of effort. So if you do that, definitely you will be very successful at the end of your second semester. And in the same context, if you have taken some AP classes in your sophomore year, 2 AP courses, and you have got B, and you are not that happy about it, that doesn't mean you need to drop off the level and you need to go to honors or you need to go to on level. No, please don't do that. Okay, maybe limit the number of AP classes that you take. If you have taken 2, maybe limit yourself to 3. Like that. If you don't want to overload yourself, or all you have to do is you are slowly learning. Once you get that work ethic, it's a matter of just figuring it out. Hey, this is the way. That's what I said. You kids are very, very talented. You don't have to work very hard. All you have to do is just work smart. Okay. Hey, this is how it works. And there are lots and lots of helpful resources available online. Make use of that. Okay, try to reach out to your, if you are a sophomore year, if somebody has taken it in the previous years, try to reach out to them and try to ask them, what they have done. And, there are various Princeton Review, like Barron's, like a lot of books are available. Try to get the help of the resources and go to College Board. They have a lot of videos available nowadays. I would say, if you ask me, don't go back. It is just a learning process. Even if you are struggling in the second year, you will be successful at the end of, when you go to the senior year. Believe me, you will be successful. You need to believe in yourself. That's it.
Okay, So if no one wants to add on, then we can move on to the next question. And this one's about the SAT and the ACT. And they're asking, when should they start studying for the SAT and the ACT?
Okay.
I can start on this. So I don't really, like I said for the other question, I mean, there is no like right time to do it. But just from personal experience, I think it's really helpful to start as early as you can. Just to, like Tara mentioned earlier, kind of see whether the ACT or SAT kind of fits you better, which one you're more comfortable with. But also just to get practice. I think it's also nice to start, freshman, sophomore year, because you can take it multiple times without having to report your scores, because I don't think a lot of colleges do this anymore, but sometimes they make you report all your scores. But I think, taking it, once or twice before junior year, before it actually counts, is nice, just to kind of get an idea and be in a real testing environment. And also it allows you to prepare for it and study for it before you start getting super busy, because junior year and senior year, that lets you focus on other things, especially senior year, you want to be focusing on college apps and things like that. So it's nice to just get it out of the way early on, in my opinion.
I agree. I made the mistake of starting really late. I started my junior year, which wasn't that great because I had to, I think I took it a total of 3 times because I just kept getting sick the day of the exam. So yeah, I ended up having to take it like even in the beginning of my senior year, which was not fun. So yeah, definitely start as early as you can.
Yeah, I also made the same mistake per se. The first time I took the ACT was during my junior year, and I also took it my senior year as well. I feel like if I did start earlier, I would be better off. You have a lot more opportunities to like see what the test is like if you took it earlier. So when it comes to the time where your score does count, you'll be like better off. You'll probably get a better score. So definitely like start as early as you can, but there is no right time, as we said earlier.
I guess kind of also going off of that, the PSAT comes in really handy because it forces you to kind of go about confronting that even from I think sophomore year itself, right? With the PSAT 8-9. So, or even the other one. Regardless, I think, I guess, kind of dealing with that or spearheading that from a early standpoint, figuring out a small timeline for yourself as to what you want to do this next summer, the summer after. For me, it was, do I want to get the SAT/ACT out of the way this summer so I could pursue something else the next summer, or do I want to do something this summer in terms of internship experience, some sort of volunteer experience this summer, and then focus on that next summer? So figuring that out for yourself, I think, from an early standpoint is really helpful, so that you don't run into issues later down the line.
All right.
Okay,
So
that's good. Just to add one point to that. Actually, I think for SAT, it needs Algebra 2. If you have finished your Algebra 2, that would kind of help you with all your, like math problems in your SAT. So like Ritik said, it's better to space it out, and it's better to sit with your counselor and try to figure out the 4-year plan. In 9th grade, what are you going to do? What is your schedule, course load looking like? And if you are taking, I know a lot of kids who have taken, like early on. Now you guys may think, hey, I have taken a junior year. That was too much workload. But you know what? That is a perfect time, because you have taken a lot of science classes. You have done a lot of reading, and you have taken a lot of math classes. At that time, it is a matter of perfecting your scores. That is something, because you guys almost all have perfect scores, okay? Because you were working on your perfection. But you were ready by then. You were completely ready by then. Like all of you guys said, start with PSAT and space it out, and try to figure out, take a couple of tests and see what are you good in, and try to, that diagnostic skills, believe me, that can give you a complete report of, like you need, help with algebraic equations. you need help with calculus, you need help with trigonometry. So that's diagnostic report that tutor centers will run and give you. That will give you, like what is your strength and what is your weakness. So you can figure it out accordingly, and like you can move on.
Okay, so the next question is, I think we kind of answered this earlier partially, but they were asking if AP and IB courses will have the same weight when it comes to college admissions.
Yes, I can answer this, because when we talk in the college admission counselor session, this is what they repeatedly tell. So you have to see what the colleges are, what the schools are offering versus the courses you have taken. Now you can come back and tell me, hey, my school is offering AP and IB level, then what should I take? So it depends on the track that you want to take. For example, Tirini has mentioned that science credit, IB science majoring courses, if you are going on the pre-med track, or if you are concentrating more on STEM courses, then it is better to go on the IB track and pursue science. Okay, IB, like biology or something, you can go ahead and take more specialized courses in that. If not, some of the schools may be offering only business and language arts. Okay, but you are interested in STEM, then how is it connecting, right? So so you need to see what are your, what do you want? If you want to pursue pre-med, if you want to, for example, like IB, not only it's a matter of just checking the courses, just studying the courses. There are a lot of other requirements that goes along with that, right? There are some, like written report that you need to make. So unnecessarily, you don't want to spend your time on that. So rather, you need to see, what is the major you want to specialize in, and is AB curriculum, will that better suit your needs? So depending on that, you need to sign up for that AP or IB level. And I'm sorry, so they both are viewed at the same level, because they both are, like college level courses. So one is not, like higher than the other. They both are viewed at the same level.
All right. So the next two questions, they have to do with extracurriculars and non-academic pieces. So the first one was, is it like really necessary to be an athlete or involved in athletics or performing arts in order to do well on the college admissions?
I can answer that. I think sometimes when like you start high school, you're like, oh, I need to do all of it. I need to do some of everything to get into my dreams college. That's definitely not true. Especially if you do that, you're not going to have the time and ability to give everything the time that it deserves, and to eventually excel in it. So I didn't do any sports. I'm not a sports person, so I didn't go anywhere near that. But I mean, there are some things that you do just for your own sake. Like, I want to try it out, but you should always have like a couple, like 2 or 3 things that are you're really passionate about, and you actually spend the time to make yourself better in it throughout your high school journey, or throughout your high school journey. So yeah, no, you don't need to do everything.
Just going off of that, I think it's definitely okay to try new things. Like I did orchestra all throughout middle school, but then after I got to high school, I realized that there were other things that I felt, were better for me. So I ended up dropping that. But also, just it's okay to do things that make you happy. I mean, not everything you do is necessarily for the college admissions process. But I mean, to answer the question, it's not absolutely necessary to do a sport or, performing arts or anything else. But, just honestly think about what's best for you and what you enjoy doing outside of school.
Also, to add on to that, for me, I did a sport, but I think at the end of the day, if you're not putting the time and effort that you need into that sport, you're not going to get recruited, and that's not going to help out at the end of the day for college admissions. For me, I did track mainly as a way to get some physical exercise in on a daily basis after sitting at school for God knows how many hours every day. So for me, it was just having that period of relaxation immediately after school, at the very least, and still be somewhat productive and helpful to myself. So it's not necessary by any means for the college application process. It's just what can you get out of it. As long as it helps you at the end of the day, I think that's all that really matters.
Yeah, do what you're passionate about. And the next one is also about things outside of academics. They're asking, how can we find out about opportunities to get merits and awards?
Okay, so taking part in competitions. If you are part of the club, for example, Tara has mentioned about DECA, and a lot of you have mentioned about HOSA, and a lot of technology, associations are there. When you are part of that, they will be conducting small competitions within the school, right? So when you participate in that, so you will be getting a placement. It doesn't matter, even if you don't get a placement, it is completely okay. Then, what it encourages you to do is, you will compete in the next level. Okay. So, always, again, with kids and parents, there is a big controversy always. Why do I have to force myself into competitions, so kids who are participating in that, they are not participating because they need to get number one position. Okay, so not everybody is going to get, not everybody is going to be the winner, right? If there is a winner, then everybody else have to take it easy. So the thing that we are going to, what the colleges and what we need to teach the kids is work hard and try whether you are good in that. Okay, so when you sit for the, for example, the science Olympiad, math Olympiad, when you sit in that particular club, when you start taking the test, then you will know how much of more of an effort that you need to put in that particular club in order to, take yourself to the next level. So always see what you are good in and how can you move yourself to the next level. It is not against anybody. You are not competing against anybody. Always try to have a competition, within yourself, right? If you are interested. If you say, sometimes, some kids will come and say, hey, I'm just happy with, whatever I am, wherever I am, I'm just happy. It is completely okay also. But when you go for, merit and awards, I'm sure, I have seen this in a lot of kids, whoever, they may not be interested in participating in competition, but when other kids achieve that, they feel like, you know what, I wish I have participated in at least one of the competition. It's really fun, just to compete with others and see, how well you can handle the situation, right? It is just working under pressure. So there are a lot of other things that you will learn. There is, you need to communicate very well. You need to express very well. So a lot of other soft skills that you are learning along with that. So whenever you sign up, there are a lot of opportunities available. So academically also, you all know very well, like salutatorian, valedictorian, top 1%, top 10%. Yes, academically it is there. If you are scoring very well in your SAT and ACT, yes, that is taken into account. Okay, if you are taking the leadership position, yes, that is definitely taken into account. And if you are keeping a good standing in your high school, you will be recommended for honor societies, right? Science honor society or math honor society. You will beta club. You will be inducted into that. So these are all the privileges that you get when you put more of an effort. And when you enjoy good time with your friends, like all of you have mentioned. Everything matters. So it all comes as a package.
All right, and now we're back to academic questions. So someone was asking, how are the AP scores and GPAs taken into account when you're getting admission into a college?
Can you say that question again, Prashika? Is it AP and GPA?
It's asking for AP and GPAs and how do colleges kind of go about looking through those?
Okay. Anybody who would like to answer this question?
So your GPA is like, you have to report your GPA no matter what. Your counselor is going to snub you. Krithik, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but I had a friend who was applying to Georgetown, and she had to like report all of her AP scores. And certain schools like will require that of you. I know for Michigan, they didn't make me do that, but I think I did send my AP scores, but they don't require you to do that at Michigan. But yeah, so GPA is required, AP scores are not.
Yeah, no, that's correct. At least in Georgetown's case, I think AP scores also play they're a double-edged sword in my opinion, because they can provide a lot of information on how well you mastered the subject or didn't. Because sometimes you can get a really amazing score in the class, but if you're not doing so hot on the AP exam itself, it shows that maybe there's a discrepancy there in terms of how hard or rigorous the class was, relative to the opposite side of that coin. That being, you didn't do too well in the class, but you did extremely well on the AP exam, showing that you have a mastery over the subject itself. So it just depends on how you want to present yourself as a candidate to college and see what narrative you can work with.
Yes, beautifully
Okay,
said. But GPA is the number one, like deciding factor in, like that is the first thing the colleges look into. And once they go in depth into the transcript, then they are going to see, like what kind of AP classes that you have taken. And some of the universities, like Ritik has mentioned, Georgetown, they would like to see all the AP scores. Whereas some of the colleges, they don't want to, unless otherwise you report, they don't want to see your AP scores. But the GPA, regardless of like any university, everybody would like to see your GPA.
All right, so the next question is about internships. How can we find out like who's offering internship programs? Like how can you find those kind of programs?
So like a lot of these like opportunities that we're talking about, and I think this kind of goes to what we were saying, is like you have to go and find these opportunities on your own. A lot of times, like that could be like reaching out to a teacher, Googling it, things like that. You have to keep in mind, like when you're applying to these schools, Deviant, you can correct me, but like you're being compared to kids in your high school. So like the opportunities that are like well advertised, a lot of kids are going to be doing those same opportunities. So when we say like be passionate about it, you have to be passionate enough to like go and like research and like find a really cool opportunity, because I'm sure there's something that interests you that's out there that's really unique, and I think a lot of colleges would be interested in that. So yeah, it's all a matter of you reaching out and looking for those opportunities.
Very well said. So internship. So like I said, your family, friends, community, try to get hold of, if you are interested in a particular profession, try to reach out to those people, that company, individually. That is one approach. And another approach is, like the company themselves, they will come and advertise, we are looking for some, people, we can offer some internships, so that is highly competitive. And research opportunities, you need to approach individual departments in universities. And like I said, you may be knocking 100 doors, you may be sending 100 emails to professors. You may be hearing from only one person or not at all. So you may be start your process once again. So it is a very laborious process, but if you are passionate about getting that done, start early, like the panelists said. Start early and try to reach out to them as soon as possible.
All right, so back to academics again. So someone was asking, how can we prepare for the AP exams? Like, what's the best study method for that?
I figured this out very late. I did not do well on my APs like freshman, sophomore. Junior year, I started getting better, and then senior year, it was senior year. So I kind of went back, but I did learn a lot about how to study though. So you need to start early for sure. And I would really recommend, like, there are these things called FRQs, which are like the written answers on your test. So I would recommend going in and practicing like those from past exams. I had no idea about that freshman and sophomore year. I just walked in like it was like a regular test, and I did not do too well. So yeah, just practicing from old AP exams really helped.
Kind of going off of that, I know there's a lot of resources that they gave us at school too. So some of my teachers, they gave us like AP test books, which is just like a bunch of practice questions, practice tests, practice, just like a bunch of practice stuff that was very similar to the AP test that we took in May. So those were really helpful. There's different types of practice tests or practice AP books too. A lot of them are really well. So also asking your teachers, I bet your teachers would be happy to help in looking for practice exams, practice questions and stuff. College Board, which is the organization that does the AP tests, their website also has a ton of great resources. They have old FRQs and old tests that students have taken in the past, which are also similar to the test that you will take. So those are really great resources.
Another thing that I used to look at was the learning objectives that are published by College Board. So before my exams, what would help me is I would just write a Word document of all like the objectives and then like content that would go with that objective, and that would help me review the content. And then I would do like practice exams. Yeah.
I just like to clarify one thing that I said. So my high school, it wasn't like a top high school or anything like that. So our teachers didn't really prepare us for the AP exam. They were just like, go in, give it your best shot, that kind of thing. And basically in all my classes, we would still be learning content like a week before the AP exam. So we didn't really, in class, we didn't work on studying for the AP exam, things like that. So if your high school is like that, I would just suggest like those last few units, like try, I know it's not going to be great, but like try learning a little bit by yourself, like whether it be using Khan Academy videos or looking at past exam questions. That really helps because, yeah, I think for my AP Calc exam, we just left out a whole unit at the end. So yeah, I had to do that one by myself.
All right. Okay. So now we'll go on to another question. This has to do with the SAT. So I think Ms. Selvakumar kind of answered it a little bit earlier. Do you need to complete pre-calculus or algebra 2 for a SAT?
You don't have. Just when you have taken that course, Algebra 2, you will be learning a lot of problems, and those skills will help you towards better score in your SAT. Otherwise, you don't. There is no requirement that you need to take all those courses.
Okay. So
Actually, I'd like to add one more thing to that. Like working as an SAT tutor right now, I've like seen a lot of things that I hadn't noticed before about what you need to know for the math section particularly. Though you don't need pre-calc for sure, but I would suggest like looking at the unit circle. And then reviewing like your geometry formulas helps a lot. So just algebra and geometry formulas, like going through those, because SAT likes to, in one question, they like to cram in as many like math topics as possible into one. So it's not like, oh, this is from algebra, this is from geometry. They like to include everything. So just memorizing your formulas, things like that really helps.
Okay. So if no one has anything to add, then let's move on to the next question. So they're talking about, like, let's say that you're taking college courses during your junior and senior year. How can you do that? And how will that serve as an advantage when you're applying to college?
I think one thing to keep in mind is something that I found was that if you take college or courses at like community colleges or something like that, those are you typically get the same like content that you would in an AP class, but a lot of times those are only transferable to in-state colleges, whereas I found that AP classes are typically more transferable to colleges across the country. So if you're planning on going to a college in-state, then that's definitely a great option. Like I know a lot of my friends took classes at Columbus State and that ended up going to OSU. And another benefit, if you know that that's what you want to do, is that Columbus State or just taking classes at OSU, you can take gen ed classes that wouldn't be offered as AP classes otherwise. So you can actually like get ahead in college courses. But if you're thinking you want to go out of state or just want to keep your options open, then AP might be the way to go.
Another thing that I heard was that AP classes are standardized throughout the country, but then like community college courses are very specific to that like college. So that's why colleges prefer AP courses over dual enrollment. But like if you know that the college that you're going to get dual enrollment from is a good college, then I think you should go for it, because like there are some colleges out there that give you very good opportunities. One thing that's offered in Georgia is like the dual enrollment for math. And that really helped me because now I don't have to take any math classes at Georgia Tech. So it's all very subjective.
Yes, that's beautifully said. So it all depends on the student's individual journey. For example, what Tirini has mentioned. So her high school courses, but when you lay out the 4-year plan, if a particular student has taken Algebra 1 and Algebra 2 in their middle school itself, and when they come to the high school, they will be directly taking pre-calculus. Okay, and in the next year, in their sophomore year, they will be taking AP Calc. Okay, AP Calculus BC. So in that case, they are done with all the 4 credits for the math. Now they are running out of options. So this is a perfect time for them to take the dual enrollment classes in their junior year. Or, like maybe if they are done with their AP Calculus BC in their junior year, they can do the dual enrollment in their senior year with the community college or in the, like colleges close by. And other than that, there is no need for, like enrolling in college courses. It all depends on, like individual progress. Right? When you lay out the 4-year plan, you will completely know, okay, for example, for math, this is how the path is looking like, because it goes sequentially, like Algebra 1, Algebra 2, pre-calculus, and then calculus. And then you can take the college level course. For everything, for even the science and for the language arts, for everything, there is a, like a prerequisite. So you cannot jump to the college level course in your junior year. So it depends on, you need to personalize, you need to customize to your requirement. And to add to that, for that question, the savings for college, right? The savings, so it depends on the AP level course, the scores. If the particular college is accepting AP scores for that particular subject, for example, Tirini has mentioned, Georgia Tech has exempted the math credit for her since she has taken the dual enrollment there, right? It may be possible if in the AP Calculus BC, one student has taken 5, got a score of 5, and in a particular college, they may be giving credit for that, and they don't have to take the college level math in that particular college. Okay, so definitely it will save, but let us not put that in the kids that like if you take AP level classes now, it will save some money in the college. So it depends on the individual journey, how the kid is progressing.
All right. Okay. So it's coming close to the end of the webinar, so I'll try to answer as many questions as we can. And if your question is not reached, then you can email it to the Tamil Sangam email ctscommittee@gmail.com. but we'll try to answer as much as we can. So the next question is that like a lot of teens are putting a lot of pressure on themselves to get like to the top, like perfect in everything, first percent, lots of extracurriculars. Is that like, is it really worth it in the long run to put so much effort and time into getting to the top?
Wonderful. I can definitely answer this question as a parent, and like any panelist, please correct me if I'm wrong. Okay. As a parent, I would say, I mean, these kids are throwing a lot of words every time I sit in a panel discussion. These kids completely, they are contagious. All these words get into my mind. The values, right? So what are we trying to teach our kids? We are not trying to put more pressure on the kids. All we want is we want our kids to be successful more than us. So what is the meaning of that? That means we want our kids to work hard. Okay, that is all the message we are trying to tell the kids. And if not everybody can work hard and they can all achieve big results, right? But if they have the mentality to work hard, like later on they won't be like pushing everything by the side. They will be getting that like value, and they will be working under pressure. Okay, so these are all the things we are trying to teach the kids, the values, like high moral values. And when they go to the market, like this is, like I can tell this because and a lot of parents would come and ask me. My oldest son, he went to MIT, and then at that time, like a lot of parents came and told when he graduated, hey, there is a kid who came out of so and so college, but he is getting more salary than like your son. Is it worth going to that college? I will never compare the money worth coming out of that college. What is the salary he's getting coming from that college versus one other student like getting a high salary graduating out of some other college? Again, it is everybody's individual journey. My son has enjoyed each and every bit of his journey, and it is a lifelong like memory he's going to cherish. And we don't have to go anywhere for the example. Look at the panelists just sitting here. Look at all that is why I wanted them to show the different activities that they have done, different accomplishments that they have done. They are top 1%, they are top 10%, and look at them, they are already in the college. And just imagine the amount of work that they have done. They are leaders in 6 different organizations. They are founder and they are president, and they have done Bharatanatyam, they have done like a tennis, they are track and field. Oh my God, I cannot even imagine myself doing that. But yet these kids, look at them, they are humble. Okay, if you that is a beautiful lesson that I repeatedly, whenever I sit in the panel, I learn how to be humble from these kids. When you work hard, when you put 100% of your effort, you will learn how to be very simple and humble. Yet at the end of the day, you are a very, very talented and knowledgeable person. That anybody turn to any of these panelists, we would definitely ask them hundreds of questions. Hey, how did you do this? How did you do that? So that is what that is a lesson we need to learn at the end of the day.
I would also say, my mom always jokes that like she feels like she went through high school again with me just because of like how stressed I was. And like it definitely towards the end, like during my senior year, I'm not gonna lie, like I was completely burnt out. Because I had, built up a lot of stress in me on my own. It wasn't because I was like doing a lot. So that's why it's really important. I know passion is like really annoying and annoying word to hear at 16 or whatever, but it's important to do what you like, because I think in the 4 years, the things that were stressing me out were the things that I was doing that I ended up never talking about my college application, but I wasn't enjoying what I was doing. And I felt like I was wasting my time. So it's important to just take it easy and really do what you like, because it just makes the entire process so much easier for you, I think.
And also kind of going off of that, just keep in mind that, if you don't get into your dream college, it's not like a complete waste of all that work you put in, because at the end of the day, regardless of where you go to college, it's really what you make of the experience. I mean, every college, has good programs and has different organizations and things you can get involved in. So it really isn't a waste of your effort because, it's an experience and you got something out of it, even if it doesn't seem like it at the moment. So it just keep in mind that it's not, the worst thing because, there's still a lot ahead of you. Like, college is what you make of it. And, definitely a lot of future good experiences that you may not see at the moment.
Okay. So if no one has anything else to add on, I'll move on to what I think will be the last question for today. What are your thoughts on studying abroad and how can you use that to, apply to your pathway through college?
Yeah, I can somewhat speak to this. Studying abroad in high school is not something you see very often. Just because, I feel like that's a term more loosely thrown around when you're in college, for that experience of immersing yourself in various cultures and education systems and so forth. But studying abroad in high school, I remember there was this one opportunity that I had, but I didn't end up pursuing it. There was a program, I believe it was called Blue Med Africa, where for an entire summer you'd volunteer at a clinic within Ghana. And I know some people who pursue that option, and they had amazing stories to tell afterwards about it. But at the end of the day, nothing's a requirement. It's just a matter of what are you going to get out of that? Is this something you want to do? Like, are you willing to sacrifice that time and effort into doing all that? Not to mention the cost that might be implicated with it, and understanding that and moving forward.
Okay, so does anyone else have anything to add?
Jessica, there is a question from YouTube. Can you read that question? The last one, we'll keep that.
Yeah. So, one of the questions is if you knew one thing before you went through the admission process that would have helped you maybe formulate like a better application, what would it be?
I would definitely say start earlier. I'm not a great writer, like at all. That's something that I really struggle with. Waiting till later really, it made me like have to try to finish that essay like the day it was due. So that's definitely not a good thing. And also, I would really recommend applying early action instead of regular, because I feel like they don't say this, but I feel like it does help to like you have a higher chance of getting in. Yeah.
One thing I would say is just be proactive and, take initiative because opportunities and things aren't always just going to present themselves. And sometimes you have to put a little work in to find them. And at the end of the day, it'll be worth it. But yeah, just make sure that, you're always on the lookout for, different opportunities at, local universities or anything like that.
Have fun. Have fun in high school. Have fun.
One thing I would do is like not waste my time with clubs that I did just because they were like name worthy. Yeah.
I guess also going off of that, the college admissions process really tests your patience because it's you putting down, oh, this is me over these past 4 years. Do you want me or not? Sort of deal. And sometimes it's a difficult thing to reckon with. Sometimes when you don't get the outcome that you're looking for. But at the end of the day, you're more than just a fact sheet of your accomplishments and whatever grades that you got over the course of those 4 years. You're a person who's gone through this wide variety of experiences. And I think embracing that and the process as a whole really allows for a reflection on yourself, and allows you to grow further on, even going on to college, wherever that might be. So I think appreciating that entire experience allows you to bear with the pain of writing all the essays and whatnot more. So.
And now, personally, college is really hard. So just enjoy it while you can, like do all the fun stuff while you can, while you're young and stuff. So.
Prashika, yeah, I think Mrs. Devi also answered the question, the last question on the chat. Thank you, Mrs. Devi.
Yeah, thank you, Ms. Davy. So,
Yeah.
I think that's all the questions that we have, and I think we answered most of them. Maybe there's like one or two, but if you have any further questions, or maybe we forgot to answer your question, you can email us at ctscommittee@gmail.com, and we'll make sure to respond to your question. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Prashika. Jagdish, I invite Jagdish to give the vote of thanks.
Good evening, everyone, and I'll take this time to thank like our wonderful Counselor Devi and for this wonderful information-filled session, and our excellent student panelists, and Siva Sangari from our design team, Lavanya from our communication team, and all the parents and students, and Prisika for like reading all the questions, and that's good. And thanks for all your time, and hope that like it helped everyone. Thanks everyone. Thanks again for Devi and the student panelist. Thank you.
Yeah, you guys, sorry to interrupt, Jagdish. Yeah, the entire session was so good. And the energy from the panelists, and yes, I cannot forget to mention Mrs. Devi. It was just extraordinary, and the perspective that the student panelists bring in it was just wonderful. Thank you all of you. I guess we can stop the live share, Jagdish. Thanks to Jagdish and Dana for pulling it off. Thank you.
Yeah, 1 minute. I'm taking just a screenshot for this session. Smile, please.